is Jack Milne with the House Whisperer Show. As it's now the Ides of March, pretty soon we're going to be thinking about how we're going to prep our exterior of our home. The one thing I ask that you always do is before you start any re-landscaping is check the grade of your home at foundation points. One thing I'll be talking about in a moment is mulch. And people think that if I put mulch against my house, it will absorb water. It does to a point, but it's like a sponge. So when mulch gets oversaturated, the moisture passes by. So if you're noticing a negative pitch to your home, don't just put mulch down, put down topsoil. And the best topsoil, believe it or not, is with a clay mix, because water doesn't absorb through clay. So always go with a little bit more than what you think you need, because topsoil is like coffee. I always joke with my clients that, you know, if the bride put in decaf and I need my high test, before I add water to it, I can dump hers out, put mine in, and then make my cup of coffee. It's the same thing with topsoil. It can literally take, with new construction, up to 2 years for your soil to fully settle around the foundation. So again, if you know that you have to add topsoil, it's something you can do yourself. You can get the bags at the box store and just rake it out. Now with mulch, you don't want to ever have your mulch above your siding finish, and that could be stucco, that could be vinyl, aluminum, whatever. The reason why is mulch is decaying wood, so it invites termites. So the last thing you want to do is, if you have your siding and your mulch is above your siding, it becomes an introduction point for wood-destroying insects. We look for at least 3 to 4 inches of clearance between siding and the start of your mulch bed, just so you have this barrier to keep those insects out. Now, mulch comes in varying varieties. I have black mulch. They make red mulch, they make natural mulch. That's a business decision. But when we do mulch, I tend to go a little bit thicker. Years ago at my office, I had a contractor come in. I said, please mulch my beds. He put a fabric down first, which helps deter weeds. But then he only gave me about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Now, there's this mystery to mulch is, where's it go? So I mulch my beds typically every two years, maybe 3 years. When I moved into my home, I went through 27 yards of mulch. And I do my own work. So yeah, I was doing a lot of wheelbarrow labor to make the beds look good. So one last topic on mulch is, when you're mulching around trees, don't put your mulch too high against the trunk. You still have to expose some of the roots, because what happens is the roots will continue to grow up. And you may have noticed this on some houses where the mulch bed is extremely high against the trunk, and it's not healthy for the tree. Now, moving on, I use a product called Liriope. This is a variegated Liriope here, so you're going to see the greens and the whites. By the dogwood tree, I have more of a standard green Liriope. And this helped me reduce the amount of mulching that I had to do around my beds. And some ground cover thrive in sun, others don't. And I found that the Liriope is very strong, so it will survive our winters. As you see, it does lay dormant, but this will pick up again by the end of the month. The beauty of the product too is that you get flowers from it. So you'll get either purple or white flowers come September or October. So it makes for really nice fall plumage as well. When I plant these, I usually plant them about 6 inches apart, and I just use a hand shovel, and pretty soon it's a beautiful plant and offers color and longevity. Now, one more area I want to cover on the site is with a product called Pachysandra. Now, the final plant that I want to talk about today is called Pachysandra. Pachysandra is, again, another spreader, but it enjoys shade. I find that when I put it in the sunnier areas, it tends to burn out and fade away. So when I built the back garage, I had to reswale the property to drain in this general direction. So what a great place to put Pachysandra. So it spreads every year, but not as quickly as the liriope. But keep it shaded. I think it's happiest that way. I also have it against my green giants along this area. So the beauty of these plants is it helps reduce my time with the maintenance of the site. So if you like the content, hit the like button and the subscribe button. And if you'd like a copy of my email newsletter, subscribe below.